The first tool I'm going to introduce you to is a tool called Get Revising, which is www.getrevising.co.uk. And the reason I've chosen this one is because I think that it allows you to do a lot of things that other websites do, all rolled into one. So there were plenty of tools I thought about sharing with you, but this really covers all of them. So I'm going to start off just taking you through bit by bit the types of things that you can do. You sign up to an account, it's free. And when you sign up to an account, it'll ask you questions like, what subjects are you studying? If you know what exam boards they're with, you can put those in and things like that. And basically, the more information that you give it, the more tailored towards you the website will be. So it'll almost suggest resources to you for your subjects. I've not put any of those things in because thankfully I'm not doing my GCSEs. Credit to all of you for doing that. So I'm just going to show you some of the things like how to search and things like that. So to start off with, we're just going to try searching for something. So let's say you are studying the Cold War, as it comes up in the example there. So I'm going to type in the Cold War and then search resources. And this will bring up everything on here to do with the Cold War. Now you can see there are actually 263,000 resources that match this. And it's important that you think about which ones you access. So if you look at the right-hand side here, some of these are notes and some of them are like revision notes that people have made. Some of them are presentations. Some of them are mind maps. The ones which have teacher recommended next to them are the ones that have been verified by teachers. So teachers have had a look at those and they have basically said, yes, that's all accurate and it's good information and it's useful for people to revise from. The reason that's important is anybody can share their notes using Get Revising. So we go further down, some of these here, like these flashcards, they've been made by people like you. So other students who have made flashcards for themselves about the Cold War and they've uploaded them. So by all means, look at them. You might find them really useful, but just be aware that it's these ones which are the ones which we know have got accurate information, the ones with teacher recommended alongside. If you want to filter things down a little bit more, you can choose your level, like GCSE, for example, choose the subjects that you're studying and so on. And that will then give you slightly less results, more relevant to what you're looking for. So you can get an idea already about the wealth of resources that are on there that you can use to help you revise. Now, we're going to look a little bit further than that. So we're now going to go to past papers. And if I go to past papers, you can find papers for different subjects. Now, I've not looked at this to check that every single subject in this school and every single exam board that we use is on here. But the ones I have checked, I've checked about 3 or 4, and all of them have been on here. So all you have to do is choose your level, choose your subject, and then choose your exam board, assuming that you know it. And then click Find Past Papers. And then that will find all of the different past papers which relate to that subject. So you can obviously use those to help you see what types of questions that are going to come up in exams. You can use them to test yourself. And the mark schemes where they're available are there as well. So you can go and have a look at the mark schemes. So that's really useful resource, obviously. We're now going to move to the more creative side, where you create your own resources. So I'm going to click on the bit that says create here. And the first thing I'll show you is how to make a study planner. So if I just click go here, this allows you to make an exam calendar. So you can put in the dates of your exams or things that you have a commitment for. So let's say that you commit to revise something by a certain date. You can put that in. You can edit what subjects you do. You can add deadlines and so on. Okay. You can even put in things like holidays if there's certain times that you're not going to be revising. Now, once you put those all in, you can see that it's going to help you put together some sort of revision calendar to help you keep yourself on track. And using a study planner is really, really useful. And some of you might decide that you're going to do something similar on paper. Some people like to work on paper. Some of you might use something like Google Calendar. but this one here is obviously there, it's set up, it's very easy to use, and you might decide that this is a way of you keeping track of your revision. Right, if we go back to the create section, you can also build a whole load of different things to help you revise. So flashcards is an obvious one. So we could go to flashcards here, and you would just put in the title of the set of flashcards that you're going to do. So let's just say, for example, it was the Cold War. Your title would be Cold War. You can pick the level of study and such like if you want to, and the topics. And then you choose what form your cards are going to take. So is it going to be a question and answer? So a question on one side, the answer on the other side. Or maybe it's words and definition. Maybe it's the name of somebody and what they said and did, theory, explanation, etc. It could be something else. And then all you do is you just put your cards here. So what's going to be on the front of the card, what's going to be on the reverse of the card. And then once you've done that, you can add as many cards as you want, save it, and you can then use those cards to help you revise. There are a whole host of other things you can do. You can do revision cards, so breaking topics into manageable chunks. I'm not going to go through all of these with you. You can explore them yourself, obviously. You can make detailed revision notes that you can then go over. So, if you're fed up of writing notes down on paper or in your book or something like that, that might be a good place to rewrite your notes, because the act of reading them and then summarizing them and rewriting them, that helps you remember things. Good place to do it. You can create quizzes for yourself. There are quizzes that exist in here already that you can play. You can make mind maps, which are going to help you break topics down into their subtopics and think about relationships between the things that you're learning. Mind maps, really, really useful way to help you remember information. A good way of summarizing what you've learned. Crosswords, if you want to create something more fun. And then there's graphic organizers here. You can search for quizzes, and you can look for other people's resources. So I've covered a lot there, but I think a lot of these things are self-explanatory. If you log in and sign up for an account, you're going to be able to work out how to set these things up pretty easily yourself. So I'm going to leave it there. When you explore, you'll probably find more than I've been through in this video, but I think it's time now for you to have a little look, get yourself logged in, and find out what you can do for yourself.